This is the ENGWE Y600 830W electric scooter, a chunky, purpose-built ride with a matte black aluminum frame and bright red accents on the springs and brake calipers. The look screams rugged city machine. The deck is wide and grippy, the 10-inch pneumatic tires are fat and confidence-inspiring, and the folding stem sits in front of a clean handlebar layout with an LCD screen, trigger throttle, and a handy mode button you can reach without lifting your finger. I've had mine for 6 months, and I've used it for weekday commutes and weekend errands on a mix of cracked pavement, bike lanes, and the occasional park path. Key features that stand out to me are the 500-watt rear hub motor rated at 830 watts peak, a 48-volt battery, mine is the 18-hour version, mechanical disc brakes front and rear, and lighting that actually makes night riding practical. A bright headlight, a tail light, and working turn signals. It's UL 2272 certified. The handlebar height is adjustable and the whole thing folds. On paper, it's rated for up to 43.5 miles, 28 miles per hour top speed, and a 265-pound rider limit. In my opinion, the spec sheet sets big expectations, and the frame quality backs it up right away. The scooter feels solid, not toy-like, and the controls are made of real metal instead of flimsy plastic. From my experience, the ride comfort is what separates the Y600 from a lot of commuter scooters. ENGWE calls it triple suspension. Practically, what I feel is a cushy setup with front and rear spring shocks, working along with those 10 by 2.75 tubeless tires. Potholes and expansion joints that would rattle me on lighter scooters become a muted thump here. There's a bit of that floating feeling on rough asphalt, and the heavy chassis helps the scooter track straight instead of getting skittish. If you're new to scooters, pneumatic means the tires are air-filled, which provides real shock absorption compared to solid rubber. The wide deck gives me room to stand staggered, which takes stress off my knees on longer rides. The motor delivers punchy torque, which is the pulling force that gets you moving and keeps you moving up hills. Rolling starts at intersections are quick, and on the steeper grades in my area, think neighborhood climbs around 10 to 12 degrees, I can hold a reasonable speed without bogging down. The trigger throttle is very responsive. It's almost too eager for the first few minutes until you learn to feather it. The display lets you adjust speed modes, and there are deeper P settings if you want to tweak acceleration and limits. I did unlock mine, but even with that, my actual flat ground top speed is usually 23 to 24 miles per hour. I have seen the display flirt with higher numbers on slight declines or with a tailwind, but day-to-day it lives around that mid-20s mark. If you're expecting a rock-solid 28 miles per hour on flat ground, that hasn't been my reality. Range is where expectations matter. With the 48-volt 18-hour battery, riding mostly in the highest mode and keeping a brisk pace, I'm getting about 20 to 25 miles per charge. If I baby it in a slower mode and keep speeds closer to the high teens, I can push beyond that into the low 30s, but I don't plan trips off the max claim. The battery gauge is also not perfectly linear. It can drop fast in the second half, then bounce back after you let the scooter rest. That's normal for many scooters, but it means I plan on charging nightly. The included 54.6-volt 2A charger is simple and reliable, and a full fill from low takes me around 7 to 8 hours. It's fine for overnight, not great for topping off during lunch. Portability is the trade-off for the planted ride. On my scale, the Y600 is just over 50 pounds, and while the fold is straightforward, the latch can be stiff until you learn the angle and give it a firm push. Folded, it's still a sizable package. I can fit it in the trunk of a mid-size sedan with the handlebars folded down, and that's been useful for weekend outings. Carrying it up a long staircase is a workout I try to avoid. I would not want to haul this on buses or trains as part of a daily routine. It's best for ground floor storage or a garage. Braking is strong and predictable. The dual mechanical discs have good bite, and with a little cable adjustment after break-in, they've stayed consistent. When you're new, mechanical disc means a cable pulls the caliper. It's simple and easy to maintain with basic tools. I did true the rotors once when I heard a light rub, and that fixed it. The lighting package is a highlight, pun intended. The headlight is bright enough for real night use, and the turn signals are not an afterthought. Cars actually notice them. I still do my hand signals out of habit, but it's nice to have electronic indicators backing me up. As for reliability, the frame and core components feel excellent, but I did have a few ownership bumps. I caught a rear tire puncture in my second week from a small screw on a side street. The tire size is 80/65/6, and finding the exact match took some searching. Since then, I've added tire sealant and haven't had a repeat. I also had the folding latch feel sticky after a rainy week. A drop of silicone lube at the pivot points brought it back to smooth. The battery display quirks I mentioned earlier are still there, and I've just gotten used to planning by miles rather than bars. Ergonomically, I really like the cockpit. The mode button being right next to the throttle means I keep my hand planted and still change speed levels fast, which is handy when you roll from a crowded boardwalk into an open street. The handlebar height adjustment is a win. I'm 5'10" and can set it comfortably whether I'm standing or seated. I added the seat kit after the first month. Seated rides on smooth paths are surprisingly relaxing, though I still stand for city traffic because it gives me better visibility and control. It's perfect for shorter to medium commutes over rough pavement, riders who value comfort and stability, and anyone who deals with a few hills and wants stronger acceleration than entry-level scooters can offer. I'd recommend this for people who can store and charge it at ground level, who don't need to carry it up multiple flights, and who are okay with overnight charging. If your daily use includes hopping on public transit, or you regularly need more than 25 miles at higher speeds without recharging, this wouldn't be my pick. From my experience, the biggest strengths are the stable, cushy ride, the real power from a stop, and the premium feel for the price. The main compromises are weight, real-world range versus the claims, and the long charge time. None of those are deal breakers for how I ride, but they're important if you're deciding between something lighter and less powerful or something heavier with dual motors. A note for new riders: torque just means pull, so higher torque makes starts and climbs easier. Pneumatic tubeless means air-filled tires without inner tubes, which can ride smoother and sometimes seal small punctures better, but they still need proper pressure and can still get flats. Mechanical disc brakes are simple to adjust with an Allen key. You don't need hydraulic fluid or special tools. Keep a multi-tool in your bag, check bolts once a month, and you'll head off little issues before they become annoying. In my opinion, ENGWE nailed the comfort and power parts of the brief. The Y600 looks beefy because it is. The red springs and calipers aren't just style, they telegraph what you're getting: big suspension travel and strong stopping. It's not a featherweight last-mile device. It's a compact sit-or-stand mini vehicle that happens to fold. I'd recommend this for riders who want a plush, secure feel at 20 to 24 miles per hour, have rough commutes, and prefer a solid chassis over ultra-portable convenience. If you live on the third floor with no elevator or you need to mix scooters with trains every day, you'll probably be happier with something lighter and slower. In conclusion, the ENGWE Y600 has been a dependable, fun, and seriously comfortable part of my daily routine, with a few quirks I've learned to manage. The power and ride quality make me look forward to using it, and that's the highest compliment I can give any commuter gear. Just go in with clear expectations about speed, range, and weight, and it will treat you well. I will leave all the information about the ENGWE Y600 in the comments. I hope to see you again in the following videos.